Hello. Have you ever been in the store? Maybe getting gas. You put the gas in the tank and maybe talk to the person across the pump, but they don't respond. Or maybe you're in the grocery store, walking through lines at the checkout counter, and you address the person in front of you, and they don't look at you, and they don't respond. It's rude, right? Well, that person, that individual is me.
Hey, buddy, welcome to Carter's. Hey, buddy, how you doing? That'll be $1.98. That'll be $1.98. That was weird.
When I say that's me, I'm not the person addressing the other individual. I'm the person not responding. I can't hear. Oftentimes, my wife, for example, at the gas station, will literally roll down her window and say, hey, you're talking to a deaf guy. That's me. I am John Wyble. Deafness is an important concept. A lot of people see it as a problem that needs to be fixed. That's not the case. In scriptures, it's written, when God addressed Moses, he said to him, who made the deaf? Who made the dumb? Who made individuals the way they were? Was it not I, the Lord? Now go. When Moses had addressed the Lord, he said, Lord, I can't speak well. But God said to him, I will be with you. I made you. I didn't make you perfect. I made you broken, and that's okay. I made you for great purposes. It was the Lord's plan. Here in America, we average 3.8 individuals out of 1,000 are born deaf. Some profoundly deaf, some hard of hearing. But that number is striking. A lot of people see these deaf individuals as someone who needs to be fixed. I need to fix you so you can hear like me. But that's not the way God intended it. Deaf have their own culture. They have their own language. They have their own American sign language. Here in America, we communicate. Deaf have that ability. And deaf really, the research has found that when like is paired with like, success is found. And that's the purpose that God has instilled with me. It's God-given purpose. My parents helped show that. When my parents found that I was deaf, my parents weren't heartbroken. It wasn't something that needed to be fixed when they saw me. They found motivation and they found help. They learned sign. They started to communicate. Both my parents, my mother and my father, they both learned how to sign, and they progressed and they learned. And so did I. And that's how God intended for my family to communicate, and that fellowship, and I could learn from them. And I'm thankful for God, for them, for their obedience to God and his leading, and their leading to me so I could be saved as a young boy. I accepted Christ, and he instilled on me a burden. That burden was for the deaf to know Christ. And I think about Romans 10, verse 14, which says, how can a person hear? How can a person know the gospel? How can they know Jesus if that person has never heard? Who will tell them the good news? That is us. Deaf people need to be informed. They need to be told. And my passion is to tell people, deaf people, about Jesus in their own heart language. That give and take, that back and forth. I want to show Jesus through that. And my desire is to see deaf know Jesus before their life runs out. Whatever happens in their life, that camaraderie that comes through a common language. I want to show Jesus through that. That is my passion. It's a heavy burden. That's what I would say would be the most important. That God intended death for his glory. It's a fact.